Good evening to you, viewers. You're welcome to the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe television, where we're broadcasting live in the economic capital city, Douala. I am Innocent Aze. In our major stories, several gangs of suspected bandits in the city of Douala have been dismantled by security forces in a cleanup operation. Among suspects arrested are 4 men who have been giving sleepless nights to the population of Ndokpasi in the Douala 3 subdivision. They are accused of making away with the sum of about 1.5 million francs CFA from a home they recently burgled into. Ousmane Sonko's struggle for the respect of Senegal's constitution has finally paid off. This as President Macky Sall finally announced last evening he would not run for a third term in the 2024 presidential election. The main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko had called for a mass demonstration on the eve of Macky Sall's speech about his political future. Those were major stories. Once more, thanks for joining us in this edition of the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe television. We begin with insecurity that continues to gain grounds in the city of Douala. Security forces on their part are not asleep. 4 suspected bandits have been arrested for breaking into a home at Ndokpasi, that's in the Douala 3 subdivision. They made away with a sum of about 1.5 million francs CFA. The arrest was thanks to an operation launched by officials of the Judicial Police. Details with Malak Glory.
These are weapons used by the 4 suspected bandits to break into homes. They were arrested by officials of the Judicial Police for the littoral region. This was during their last operation in the Ndokpasi neighborhood at the place called Premier Entree Bonutis. The 4 suspects break into the home of Afaye Anyevej and rob her of the sum of 1,050,000 francs CFE.
These individuals broke down one of the house door, wounded their victims several times with one of their daggers, tied up her hands and feet before searching the entire house and taking the total sum of 1,050,000 francs CFA.
The Chief of Research and Investigation Unit explained that the security guard at Anyevet's home is an accomplice. The police officer says above all, the security guard works with a clandestine company.
Investigation revealed, among other things, that the security company employing these delinquent guards was neither licensed nor legally established. At the end of the investigation, the members of this organized criminal group and the owner of the security company were arrested and will be handed over to the public prosecutor of the Vuri High Court.
The 4 suspects, aged between 20 and 22, were presented to the public and are presently in detention for further investigations.
Malak Glory reporting there. The corpse of Fonte Linus Ngole, students of the University of Boya in the southwest region, who reportedly died in military custody in Boya on March 16, 2023, will be removed from the morgue on Thursday, July 6 at 4 p.m. It shall be proceeded by an autopsy solely sponsored by the family of the deceased to ascertain the real cause of their son's death. The corpse that has since been held by the military will be released upon the instruction of the MINDEF, doubling as a Minister of Military Justice to judicial officers of the military court in the southwest region, particularly the state prosecutor. He had also ordered that all necessary steps be taken to stop the scrimmage between Semil officers of Boya and the Ngole's family over the cause, and to release more jurors, another student of the University of Boya, who was arrested alongside Ngole Linus Fonte for allegedly aiding separatist fighters. Unfortunately, the examining magistrates of the military court failed to secure the release of more jurors after signing On June 23, 2023, a court order that legally released the corpse of Ngule Linus previously by the governments to the family. However, the defense team headed by Amunkwa Tani Nico, attorney at law, is resolved to ensure justice for Ngule Linus Fontaine and Bo Jouées. It should be remembered authorities said Ngule Linus died of ill health during interrogation at Semil. And now, the senior divisional officer for the Uri Division Littoral Region, Benjamin Butu, has cautioned the population of his area of jurisdiction of heavy rainfall in the months of July, August, and September based on meteorological studies. He cautions the population to be vigilant and take other precautionary measures. Meantime, our reporter AC Lucy Liango spoke with a meteorologist who also expatiated on the dangers of inundation in these months. Her report.
In a press release signed 3rd of July, the Senior Divisional Officer, Wuri Division, Benjamin Butu, informs the population of his area of jurisdiction of heavy rainfall in the months of July, August, and September based on meteorological studies. Speaking to a meteorologist at the Littoral Meteorology Center, he says there has been an increase in accumulated precipitation, wherein it was estimated that in the month of June, the accumulated precipitation will be at 150 millimeters, but studies carried out recently show that it has drastically changed.
La tendance est en train de croître et on devrait s'attendre donc à des pluies diluviennes sérieuses.
The weather forecaster calls on the population to follow the weather bulletin of the littoral region and respect preventive measures.
Il est question d'éviter
They should avoid living in rich zones, swampy areas, or at the foot of mountains.
les bas-fonds, les flancs de collines.
A challenging moment for the inhabitants of Bonamong, who say the situation is further worsened due to the absence of gutters.
Si le curage des caniveaux que la mairie avait engagé avec Makepe s'était passé ici, c'est que nous on peut dire que nous sommes complètement épargnés.
While residents of Makepe Misoke complain, accumulated dirt in gutters hinder the flow of water.
Je les invite à éviter de verser.
I call on everyone to avoid throwing dirt in gutters.
Empêche que l'eau circule et que l'inondation revient.
Weather experts also call on all in the transport sector to be prudent during this period, as the region will also experience cloud cover and other hazards.
And now, Njala Kwan Henry Jr. has announced their decision to suspend Njala Kwan Sports Academy in Limbe Southwest region from all their football operations. Coupled with this, they shall not be participating in any competition organized by Fekafoods. In a press release signed by the proprietor yesterday, the suspension puts a temporary end to their sports studies program and all activities linked to this. According to Njala Kwan Henry Jr., this decision stems from the squabbles currently going on between him and the Fekafood boss, which led to his suspension from the executive board of Fekafoods. Thus, to him, the atmosphere makes it difficult for Njala Kwan Sports Academy and other clubs to see if their football activities thrive under such chaotic conditions surrounding football in the Southwest region and in Cameroon. And now let's take you to Senegal to talk about President Macky Sall, who has finally made it clear to Senegalese he will not be running for a third term in the 2024 presidential election. This is coming after the main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko made a speech calling on a mass demonstration on the eve of Macky Sall's speech concerning his political future. We have more with Malak Glory.
Politicians have reacted to Senegal President Macky Sall's announcement that he will not be candidate in the 2024 presidential election, saying it resulted from pressure from the people.
My dear compatriots, my decision, long and carefully considered, is not to be a candidate in the next election on the 25th of February 2024. even though the Constitution gives me the right to do so.
Même si la Constitution m'en donne le droit.
Abbas Fall, a member of parliament and coordinator of PASTEF, the party of the key opposition leader, Usman Sonko, said it was no surprise. He adds that what would have surprised them if Macky Sall had declared his candidacy for 2024. He says they all know that he wanted to be a candidate. Unfortunately for him, the pressure was such that he had no choice but to respect the Constitution, which he himself cited several times, which he had voted in 2016. Aminata Toure, a former prime minister who is now in opposition, said Mr. Sall's decision to respect the constitution was because of the mobilization of Senegalese Democrats locally and in the diaspora. She goes further to say no one was prepared to accept the democratic regression Macky Sall envisaged. So, in desperation, he respects the constitution. She said 16 people had been killed in protest, and the Commission of Inquiry will have to tell them who the masterminds were and who the others were. A former trade minister and leader of the ruling Alliance Polar Republic Party, Aminata Asoma Dieta, has however described the moment as historic.
In a jiffy, we'll be having talking points to discover our guest. Today we'll be having Aucun Nadje. She is a political analyst and also president of the National Youth, National Youth President of the UPC Youth Wing. She is our guest today. Good evening to you, Madam Aucun Nadje.
To you, Mr. Innocent Aze. It's a pleasure having me on your prestigious platform this very fateful Tuesday, the 4th of July, 2023. It's a pleasure having me, and thanks for the invitation. I want to seize this opportunity to salute all the millions of televiewers of Equinoxe TV and this very important pedagogic program called Talking Point. Thanks for inviting me, and I believe that you guys have been doing justice to this program by educating Cameroonians, Africans, and the world at large.
Now we'll talk about the situation in Senegal. President Macky Sall, after weeks of deadly unrest, finally reveals his political future to Senegalese by announcing he will not run for a third term in next year's presidential election. What's your appraisal of this?
Innocent Aze, politics worldwide is the same. The only difference with the African politics are the leaders we have. We have egocentric leaders. We have leaders who think only about themselves. They say politics is a game of interest. What is your definition of interest? Is it your personal interest or a collective interest? African leaders and politicians go in for their personal interests. For example, what's happening in Senegal is a clear evidence of Macky Sall, who, after pressure, because to me it's because of the pressure he had, that yesterday, which was Monday, he came out publicly and said he's not going to run in for a third-term mandate in Senegal, which, when he was elected in 2012, in 2016, he changed the constitution, stating that no one can run for a 3-mandate consecutively. And he said that he's still eligible. When we talk about him being eligible, it means he still has that right constitutionally to go in for another mandate, because the constitution was revised in 2016, and according to that constitution, his first mandate was in 2019. So we can see the manipulation in the hearts of our fellow African politicians. And secondly too, African politicians are not, they are not free. They are not in French, we call it autonome, okay? They don't have that power to do things without consulting their ex-colonial masters. Like in sub-Saharan Africa, we have, France, who controls everything. You will not be surprised that it's after he came back from Paris that he announced that he's not going to run in for a third mandate, saying that he's eligible, but he's not going to run in for a third mandate because he has put the collective interests of Senegalese before his personal interest. He said Senegal is greater than one man. Those are just words used in manipulating public opinion. According to me, what he did is honorable, but the peak of that honor is no longer valued in his, his discourse yesterday, because it is after pressure. It is after the public riot of the 1st of June that took the lives of roughly 16 humans in Senegal, according to some other reports. According to Amnesty International, they spoke of 30 people who lost their lives.
What possibly explains his delay to come out clear? Do you suspect foul play to cheat the Constitution?
It took a long period for President Macky Sall to do that public declaration, which he made on the 3rd of July 2023, which was Monday, saying that he's not going to run in for a third-term presidential mandate in 2024, February 2024. Mind you, Mr. Innocent Azé, he didn't do that because he wanted to respect the Constitution. He didn't do that willingly because he loves Senegalese. He did that because of the pressure that was mounted on him. He was under pressure. We all saw the reports of the deadly riot of the 1st of June 2023 that cost the lives of roughly 30 humans in Senegal, according to Amnesty International. And according to some ONGs, some non-governmental organizations, they said 16 and some others reported 25. So it is due to the pressure and due to the determination he saw in the hearts of fellow Senegalese to see that their constitution, a constitution he wrote, a constitution he revised in 2016, should be respected. We also saw the coalition forces that rallied together, civil society, independent, opposition parties, they rallied together to form the F12, okay? To form the F12 that today is called Coalition F12, to fight against the non-respect of the Constitution of the Senegalese. So it is not because President Macky Sall is so, he loves the people of Senegal, or wants to respect, the people of Senegal, or has put public interest, as he stated in his discourse. No, it is because he was under pressure and he saw that this thing can turn to something else if I don't step down.
In your opinion, was that even possible for him to cheat the Constitution? Why and how?
Looking at the possibility of Macky Sall cheating the Constitution, not respecting the Constitution, would have been possible if the Senegalese themselves didn't take the bull by the horn. Why do I say so? I tell my fellow Cameroonians, you cannot sit in your houses and you complain that things are not changing. You cannot sit in your room and you complain that things are not changing. Only the people have that possibility of auto-liberating themselves. This is a clear evidence of the power to the people, or the power of the people. Okay? Senegal, Macky Sall, Ousmane Sonko, and all the noise we've been getting there is because the people, they themselves, realize that they are the people who have the power, who have the authority to choose themselves, their leaders, to decide their fate. Okay? If the Senegalese were not together, if the Senegalese do not take the bull by the horn and went into the streets for public riot, and we had 30 people who died, 25 people who died, 16 people who died according to some non-governmental organization, it's because these people knew that their fate is in their hands, their destiny is in their hands, their future is in their hands. So if they don't take action, they're gonna be left lamenting like Cameroonians lamenting in their rooms, in their toilets, in their offices, doing nothing. So the possibility of Macky Sall winning his dirty game of manipulation would have been possible if the people didn't take the bull by the horn.
How could the situation have been today in Senegal if he said he would run?
The answer to that question is clear. Okay, it's a public one. Everybody can answer that question. Because during the 1st of June, okay, public riot in Senegal. According to Amnesty International, we lost 30 people. According to some non-governmental organization, we lost 25, and some local reports say 16. So it shows the determination in the hearts of the Senegalese. So if the president, Macky Sall, didn't do that public declaration on Monday, stating that he's not going to run in for a third presidential mandate, which will be on February 2024, you would have gotten news of, it would have escalated, okay? Because we can see the determination in the hearts of our fellow Senegalese. We can see the determination in the hearts of the opposition parties. About 100 opposition parties rallied together to form the F12. Okay? They formed the F12 that is out to fight against the non-respect of their constitution, which is a patriotic, it's a patriotic movement. It's a patriotic, action. And it's a call for concern to other, African countries to see how the people there are together, to see how the people there put the public interest before personal interest. You cannot want change and you sit in your room. You cannot want change and you're lamenting in your toilet, lamenting in your beer palace. No. You need to take the bull by the horn. So if Macky Sall didn't do that public announcement, Mr. Innocent Aze, I tell you, this would have escalated to something else. Okay? So it's a clear evidence of the unity and the determination of the people of Senegal, coupled with their devoted patriotic opposition leaders and parties and civil society and some other independent beings who rallied together to form that coalition to fight against the non-respect of the constitution that made it possible for Macky Sall to step down and respect the constitution, despite all what he sings of being eligible for the next presidential mandate, which will run from February 2024, the elections.
Equinoxe, I want you to listen to this statement of Macky Sall. In quote, he said during his speech that even if I have the right, I felt that my duty is not to contribute to destroying what I have built for this country. I have said that the 2019 mandate was my last mandate. Senegal is more than just me. It's full of people capable of taking Senegal to another level. What is your analysis?
He was afraid of the determination of the fellow Senegalese and the devoted and patriotic opposition leaders, civil society figures, and some independent humans. Something really shocked me in Senegal with the Senegal Minister of Justice, Mr. Ismaïla Madior. Okay, Mr. Ismaïla Madior. After when they said you haven't arrested Ousmane Sonko, the leader of the opposition coalition in Senegal, after he was slammed a 2-year jail sentence for sexual harassment. The Minister of Justice said the justice in Senegal is free and fair. In Cameroon, you cannot do that. The justice of Cameroon is under hostage by the government, by the system. But we can see that the justice minister stated clearly that the justice of Senegal is free and fair. He's gonna do that, but you cannot, the system, you cannot force him to do what is not right. He will be notified, though he is under house arrest, he will be notified and the process will go progressively. So we see that Senegal is an example of a people who are gradually taking consciousness, gradually admitting the aspect of the word democracy, because democracy is power to the people. And that is what our Papa Nijon Frundi, who is of late, has always preached since 1990, power to the people. So the people of Senegal are people, or is a country that other, countries in Africa should emulate their character, their opposition leaders.
And lastly, can we say young opposition leader Ousmane Sonko slammed a 2-year jail sentence has won a battle? What lesson to Cameroonian opposition leaders?
Listening to that sugar-coated discourse of President Macky Sall on Monday, the 3rd of July 2023, really shows the state of manipulation of our African leaders. He said, though he is eligible in running for another term, how can you be eligible? And you said that your last mandate was in 2019. And now you're still saying that you cannot use your hands, to destroy what you have built over the years. You cannot use your hands to destroy the legacies you've been building over the years, He has been president in Senegal since 2012. So President Macky Sall is a manipulator. It's a shame. He didn't know what to say, to the people. He said Senegal is just greater than him. Senegal is greater than one man. He puts in public interest first. President Macky Sall, your discourse could be, accepted by limited people. But I believe that the Senegalese listening to your discourse, it is not because you love the people. It's not because you want to respect the Constitution. It's not because you're a patriotic person. It's not because you put public interest in front. It is because you were under pressure. It is because you saw the determination in the hearts of our fellow Senegalese. It's because you saw an ever-determined, opposition party, civil society leaders, and some independent figures. It was just the fear, because you know and you knew that even if you didn't step down, you couldn't win come 2024 February. So the only, true escape route to public disgrace was for you to come out and do that discourse yesterday. President Macky Sall, like other African leaders, are out for personal interest and not public interest.
Well, you dwelt more there on Macky Sall. Let me say, who is like one of the African leaders fighting for himself. But now, we want to talk about Ousmane Sonko and also other opposition leaders in the country, Cameroon. Are they following the footsteps of Ousmane Sonko? What example exactly?
With what we have seen happening in Senegal, we can emulate, and this can come only from the people. Only the people can liberate themselves. Leaders without the people. Ousmane Sonko is a leader today of the coalition opposition because the people are with him. Because the people are with him and they have decided to sacrifice their lives for their generations to come. When Ousmane Sonko was arrested, the people stood to the street and he was released. Even when he was put under house arrest till date, the people were still manifesting. The 1st of June, people manifested when he sent out, un mot d'ordre, as we say in French, when he sends out a signal and said, my people, it is high time for you guys to go to the streets. It's high time for you to face, the system of Macky Sall. It is high time for us to tell him that he is not eligible. He doesn't have that competence to choose those that will run for the February 2024 presidential elections in Senegal. And the people answered present. This is just to tell us that only the people can liberate themselves. Only you, fellow Cameroonians, can liberate yourself from the system we have, from the regime we have that has been there over 40 years, marking time, saying the same things, doing the same things, embezzling money, killing the youth, not respecting the constitution, violating our laws, rules and regulations. Our institutions are not free and fair. They have taken Cameroon under hostage as their personal thing, and now they want to force us to accept Cameroon as a kingdom by forcing us to accept their child called Frank Biya. We say no. And I tell fellow Cameroonians, it is high time we take our destinies into our hands. In 1990, democracy came into existence through Pani John Frundi, who is dead right now, who is of late. We have multiple, political parties today because somebody sacrificed something. So Cameroonians, it is high time for us to sacrifice something. It is high time for us to keep tribalism away. Cameroon is Africa in miniature. Cameroon counts more than 300 ethnic groups. We are supposed to be the center of good example. We are supposed to be the center of, positive actions. Okay? Let us use that diversity in our culture, that diversity in our ethnic groups as a strength to fight a system that wants to destroy us and destroy all our legacies. Fellow Cameroonians, one man for all and all for one.
Thank you so very much, Madame Ba Akwen Nadine, for being our guest on today's edition of Talking Points. And of course, just to note that President Macky Sall, who said he will not be running for a third term during the 2024 presidential election, has called on the election body in Senegal to organize a free, fair and transparent election come 2024. But who will be running for his party, that's not yet been known. Well, viewers, that was what we had time for today. We want to thank you for watching. Stay posted programs on Equinoxe Television. Nice evening. Another appointment tomorrow, same time.